Liches and ghouls, welcome to the Salty Dog Podcast.
Let's get salty!
What is up, guys? Welcome to the show. Right after the stream, right after the big reveal.
Yeah, we just got done watching it. And cool, the cameras are fixed. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. You know, it's not the Salty Dog Podcast if we don't have at least one technical issue. So we got that out of the way. And wait, speaking of technical issues, does that smell like fire? I mean, firing up a brand new episode. Holy crap.
Oh
Sorry
my God.
about last week. My monitor basically caught fire. Right
Wait,
here.
say that joke again.
Why?
Just do it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Rewind. All right. Wait, does that smell like fire? Firing up a brand new episode of the Salty Dog Podcast. You're right, it was better the second time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. Just
No,
making sure.
Sorry, we had to cancel last week because I sat down to start putting together this beautifully produced and well-written show, and I pressed power on my monitor, and I'm sitting talking to Dookie, trying to plan out what we're going to talk about, and I start smelling this really weird smell. And if anybody has never been in a room where someone's accidentally microwaved a Digimon, then you may not know exactly.
I mean, that's a pretty common thing. You know. Sorry, my microphone is barely even in front of me.
Oh, there you go.
We've got this.
That's what it smelled like, and I figured out it was my monitor, and it was basically on fire on the inside. Luckily, there was no damage. We're all good. Got a brand new monitor.
Well,
we're good to
there was
go.
damage to your monitor.
Well, to that monitor, but I've got a new one.
I feel like I should tell the story about the microwaved Digimon.
Yeah, you should probably.
So, and when I say Digimon, I mean the actual virtual pet that like came out right after Tamagotchis came out. So it was literally like a black and white like LCD Digimon pet. So I had a few of them, and my brother was playing with one for a while, and like my mom had just picked us both up from school, and we would like stop and get fast food or whatever lots of times after school, and we had just gotten Chick-fil-A that day, and my brother, in his infinite wisdom, would sometimes just keep his Digimon in the fast food bag. Like that just became like his storage unit at that point. And so my mom went to like heat up his Chick-fil-A one day, and the Digimon was in there, and she didn't like look inside the bag, and he didn't stop her or anything. I guess he wasn't there. I don't know. But she put it in the microwave, and she microwaved a Digimon, and it is the smell of electronics that have been just fried to a crisp.
Microwaved, if you will.
Yes, microwave. So it's I'd imagine it was that smell.
Oh, it was, absolutely. I remember what that smelled like, and that's exactly what it reminded me of, and I knew something was wrong. I had food in front of me, and I kept trying to convince myself it was just the food, but it definitely wasn't. But anyway, that's not the only thing that's on fire these days. We've got the Midsummer Fire Festival. We had 4th of July.
True that.
Right? We missed our episode right before the 4th of July, so we're going to do our card submission challenge that was create a America-themed 4th of July card. Super excited about that. There's just all kinds of fire going on, but at the same time, we got a lot of ice.
Oh, true that. Yeah, we just got done. If you're here watching this with us live, you guys were here for it. But we just got done watching the announcement of the new expansion, which unfortunately was leaked 2 days before. So we already knew what it was, but we saw a lot of really cool stuff. Really, they're really going for it. They're really making some big interesting changes. So
yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping for For
Yeah.
the next set, I wanted more Death Rattles. I always wanted Frozen Throne, Lich King, whatever you want to call it, to come in, and it seems like they're going to do it not as silly as they've done some of the other, raid or other content conversions from WoW to Hearthstone. So
they're basically like, how do we ruin Ice Crown?
how do we take Arthas and make them real silly?
Yeah, how do we make this dumb? Oh, wait, you can't. So let's just kill everyone.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just going to go right. We're having a little bit of a different show because the whole big reveal, we're just going to spend most of the time talking about that. We're going to go straight into the news and just talk about the cards that they showed, and we got a new keyword, and there's all kinds of stuff to talk about. So stay with us.
What's happening?
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
Time is money, friend. Keep it quick, kid. I ain't got all day.
So, this was obviously put together before we had all the new images and everything that they just now revealed, like literally minutes ago. So, this was actually the image that spoiled it before the reveal, though, that I have up here. This image was taken from a Chinese website that somehow started putting these images up before they were supposed to. I mean, they all got taken down really fast, but, that's not how the internet works.
Yeah, once it's up there, it's up there.
Everybody's got it. So they already revealed it, of course, but, most of the conversation topics around this was, wow, those are actually the 9 classic Hearthstone heroes as Death Knights. And wouldn't you know that that's exactly what the new card type that we're getting in the Knights of the Frozen Throne is the new expansion. That's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And we're getting cards like Jiraxis, only they're not minions like Jiraxis is. They're like spells. And they replace your hero. They have they may have extra armor, like the one that they revealed had extra armor, like basically a little health boost for your hero, and they change usually, I think, your hero power. I mean, we've only seen one, but it would make sense that they would all change your hero power when they're used. So that is pretty cool. Yeah.
It's interesting that they do that. Like it almost seems like oh yeah, like why haven't they done that already? Because there are cards that just straight up replace your hero, like Major Domo Executus does it. And Draxus does it. Is there anything else, or is that it?
Executive, I can't
think of any
other replacing the hero. So it is rare, and it's never been done with a spell before. That's new.
Right. I wonder if it's going to count as a spell. Probably. Literally everything that's not a minion or a weapon.
I believe he said in the stream that it was a spell.
Yeah, it probably is a spell. But Deathstalker Rexar is the one that was revealed to us, and he is obviously a hunter card, and it's got the legendary border. So there's only one of these going to be in your deck, and they're not going to be easy to get. But it's Deathstalker Rexar is 6 mana. When he comes out, he gives you 5 armor and deals 2 damage to all enemy minions. So you've got like an Iron Hide plus a Consecration.
Right. It's kind of like Explosive Trap, only you just trigger it when you want to.
Yeah. But the hands down the coolest part about this is all these Death Knight versions of your heroes are gonna replace your hero power with something else, and he gets Build-A-Beast, which is totally like a nod to that whole construct wing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Build-A-Beast still 2 mana, and what this does, it says hero power, craft a custom Zombeast, and it's going to let you discover. Discover, I think, will always be around because it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to let you discover one of 3 minions, and then discover one of 3 random minions again, and it's going to combine them into one unholy abomination.
So cool.
So, I'm trying to look through the video and see if there's an example of one that has been successfully stitched together. What did they combine? They combined.
I'm pretty sure that I saw them combine Rat Pack.
They got Rat Pack for sure.
And I think the Rat Pack's stats after the combination were 5
it was like
to
a
4.
4 or 5. Okay,
yeah.
So I'm trying to watch right now. Okay, so they definitely pick Rat Pack, which is normally a 2/2, and then he picks something. vanilla, I think he goes Bloodfen Raptor.
Just to give it the most attack,
So
probably. So
we
that it
didn't get
gets-
to we didn't get to see the merged text box, but they will. It says their text boxes will be merged. So like his other options were the gastropod, the
Right,
poisonous thing.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his other options were I'm trying to frame by frame this, and it's just not cooperating. Okay, so stubborn gastropod and then silverback patriarch. So it would be like taunt, poisonous, and he'd be a 3/4, and then he would say death rattle, summon rats equal to this, whatever Rat Pack says, equal to his attack.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why he picked probably the Raptor. I mean, not the best example to show a combination of texts, which would have been
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
but the choice logically makes sense to give it the highest additional attack to get the most extra minions off of the death rattle. But that is a super cool idea. But I'm wondering if it's gonna go by way of Dinomancy, because Hunter's hero power is already so excellent for the Hunter class, and anything that shifts the gameplay to a slower.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like there's this huge like catch-22 when you're trying to design newer, more interesting cards. Obviously, the more shit they do, the more expensive they have to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes it so these kinds of cards can kind of only be like late game kind of control-y cards.
Right.
And so when your Hunter hero power does something like this, a board wipe and then armor, and then you get this new hero power that makes minions instead of just dealing direct damage. I don't know how that's gonna. It seems very powerful, but is it gonna fit well with Hunter?
Right, exactly. But I guess the fact that this card exists at all, unless it's just going to be unplayable, which would be unfortunate because it's very cool. It's like Kazakus, only you're making a minion instead of a potion or a spell. I guess it kind of points to like a slower meta, and there are other things that we're going to talk about a little later that actually might make that seem even more what they're going for. Just some other changes that they've made recently that are kind of maybe ushering in. I know everybody always wants to say new set control meta, and it's always aggro still, but like they keep trying, and we'll eventually get there one day. But
I'll figure it out.
I think the coolest thing about the reveal, I mean, other than the other cards that they've shown, which we're definitely going to talk about in a second, is how they decided to do the whole Death Knight thing. Because of course, as soon as you talk about Lich King, Northrend, that whole thing is, are we getting a Death Knight class? And I would have bet, again, like my bottom dollar, that we weren't, and of course we aren't.
Yeah, we're not. But this is their answer to it.
Exactly. This is their nod to a Death Knight class, or Death Knights being added to the game in some way. Our classic heroes are going to become Death Knights. But now what I'm wondering though is what happens if you're playing oh my gosh, why can't I think of her name? Sylvanas' sister, Illyria, and you play Deathstalker Rexar. Are you going to become Deathstalker Rexar, or are you going to be Deathstalker Illyria?
I guess you're going to become Deathstalker Rexar, because that's who's on the card.
That is kind of dumb.
That's super dumb. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing Liadrin, and then I'm going to get
Deathstalker Uther.
fucking Death Knight Uther or whatever. And that's gonna be dumb.
Well, I mean, that's not confirmed one way or the other. I mean, maybe
it's not,
maybe they won't make a separate card, but they will make the hero.
That'd be nice, but honestly, if I had to put money on it, I would say that they're not gonna.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Liadrin doesn't summon Silver Moon recruits, so I abandoned all hope when that happened.
That works too well for it not to be a thing. Silver Moon recruits.
Yeah, it's like, that's so easy.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm noticing about that Build-A-Beast, it doesn't look like anything nothing that they discover exceeds 3 mana.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that might be the maximum on it, because anything else higher than that, I mean, 2 mana, paying 2 mana to get 6 mana worth of minion is pretty busted.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the
So-
highest it could even be and be playable is 5, right? Because you could discover 2 5-cost minions and you'd have a 10-cost minion. So, I mean, capping it at 3 is a little weird to me because I guess...
Why would the highest be 5? Why? I mean, like...
Because if you combined 2 6-cost minions, it'd cost 12 mana.
But you don't have to pay the mana.
Oh, does it summon it directly onto the board?
Oh, it
goes
puts
in
it in
your
your
hand.
hand. Okay.
If we were talking about it going onto the board, this is far and wide the best card that's ever been created.
I was gonna say that seems bonkers. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So then he plays the built
Right.
beast.
So I guess it's built-in protection against being able to get too much value out of one card, right?
So the max might be 3, maybe it's 5.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't know yet. They didn't say that there was a cap. But I mean, it makes sense that there would be. So I'd be willing to bet that it is 3 because they don't want you to be able to get anything too insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, I mean, if you're including 5 mana drops in the pool of what you can create, then you'd be getting the Tundra Rhino, which would not be cool for game mechanics.
Are there any beasts with charge that are is the boar? You could grab a boar.
You could get the boar just to get charge. Wow.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
That is actually going to be a thing.
Yep. People are just gonna grab the boar and.
Hearthstone's design team has been just coming up with ways to make Stone Tusk Boar viable.
Yeah, that's been their goal
Ever
this whole
since
time.
2017 hit, that's what we're working towards. But anyway, super cool idea to incorporate Death Knights into just changing your hero. I love switching hero powers. I mean, changing up heroes is a really cool idea too. So
Yeah, I'm definitely into that.
All Gucci. But we should probably go through the other cards that were just revealed on the stream.
Yes.
So, Deathstalker, we just did Deathstalker Rexar, which is the Hunter Legendary. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting multiple legendaries per class or what in this set, but so far that is the Hunter Legendary. We had another legendary revealed also, which is from one of my favorite fights from the Lich King raid, the Ice Crown raid in WoW. Prince Keliseth, one of the Vampire Brothers.
This one's crazy.
Yeah, this one is super crazy and kind of reminds me of like the off the wall mechanic that what's his name? Hemet has. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So Prince Keliseth is a 2-mana neutral legendary 2/2. His battle cry is if your deck has no 2-cost cards at all. So he's
cards, not just minions.
Cards. Yeah, you can have any 2 drops other than him. I mean, unless you're living on the edge. Give all minions in your deck +1/+1.
Guess you're not playing aggro with that.
Well, I mean, or could you throw this in like a small-time recruit paladin deck? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe this is they're trying to make hand buff good. Maybe. I mean, it's definitely. What strikes me with this is that it's a mid-range deck. It's a way to hand buff your entire deck, right? Right. I mean, because the best hand buff paladin decks that there ever were kind of heavier mid-range decks. Yeah. So it kind of feels like you would put this in a deck like that, where you're running stuff with high health and like traditionally low attack, but then all of a sudden they've got +1/+1 and they're all monsters. What's his name? Second-rate bruiser or small-time bruiser or whatever. Yeah. Like
I mean, playing this on curve, like you drop this on turn 2 and your whole deck is just fucking overpowered for the rest of the game. Yeah. I mean, imagine how bad it could be sometimes, especially if you're playing Arena when your opponent drops Outfitter, Gadgets and Outfitter on you, and their whole hand gets buffed +1/+1. But then if you drop Keliseth, your whole deck gets buffed, but that means nothing in your hand did because it doesn't specify your hand. So it's a very different mechanic. But, I mean, it could lead to the same kind of board advantages, right? Because you're playing minions that are overstated for their costs. Right, yeah. No, I think this has potential to be insanely powerful. Yeah, me too. I mean, I think you just
it has
have
a way
to put
to
like a lot of 1-drops in your deck, probably. just to, because I don't know, like then your 1-drops basically become as strong as 2-drops, and
Well,
then
that's if you were
everything
trying to
else
go
becomes
for, yeah.
broken. So
Yeah, no, I was still thinking like the cards that come to my mind when I think of what would be really good to hit with those. It's like Twilight Drake, Second Ray Bruiser, Tar Creeper, just stuff that when it comes out, it's already a little overstated for its cost, and then it's just even worse, like that kind of mid-range game. But anyway, we'll see. I mean, that's basically this is almost like a reprinting of what was not Neptulon, the other Mistwalker or whatever, the Shaman legendary that did it to your whole deck.
oh yeah,
But he was way more expensive. So they've done. I've seen them do this several times now, where they reprint a mechanic on a much lower cost minion to try to get it to see play. They did the same thing with reprinting the effect of Princess Huhuran onto the new 3-mana 3/3 Deathstalker, and he still doesn't even see play. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk pure stats. This guy's like a 2-mana, like 20/20. So
it depends on how many minions you have in
how
your
many
deck.
minions you get. But yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Then you got to draw them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a cool idea. I'm glad they just included one of the vampires at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Next up, I'm particularly excited about this new keyword. It's been one of my favorite keywords in card games, period. And it's been one of Dookie's least favorites. So this is going to be an interesting conversation for us. But the next card they revealed was called Spirit Lash, which is a 2-mana priest spell. It deals 1 damage to all minions, like Arcane Explosion or Maelstrom Portal. But it also has Lifesteal, which means that every 1 damage this spell deals will restore a health to your hero.
So, does Wicker Flame Burn Bristle have Lifesteal?
No, but I would be willing to bet that they will go back and print him with Lifesteal.
That's what I'm saying. I know he doesn't currently have it, but he says damage dealt by this minion also heals your hero. So he has Lifesteal.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. They just didn't have a keyword for it at the time when they printed it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Spirit Lash, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what to say about this card. I mean, it's nice to see Priest getting some, some defense against early aggro, but 1 damage usually isn't enough. This is definitely still no Maelstrom Portal, unfortunately. I mean, health is not equal to getting a minion, even if it's a 1-drop.
Yeah, because this can slow down Pirates early game, but that health doesn't mean anything on turn 2, you know?
Exactly. And
then later in the game, you're not killing anything. You might get some health, but you're not killing anything.
Yeah.
Unless you get some spell damage out of it. I don't know.
I mean, I was so excited for a second there when they said Lifesteal and they said it's a priest spell, and I was so ready to just finally see some direct face damage with some heal to the hero. I mean, we already have that kind of with Holy Fire. But I don't know. This spell strikes me as very lackluster, and I don't really think it is going to do much for the class. Especially since, I mean, one of the reasons the Maelstrom Portal is so strong in Shaman is because they can roll a Spell Power Totem. And that's not something the Priest is able to do. So, overall, I think it's just weaker. I mean, it's still better than Arcane Explosion.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, this could get pretty good with Spell Power.
It could.
It hurts your minions, too. Huh, that sucks.
Yeah, this is just not as good.
No.
It's just not as good as...
Like, this, honestly, this could be 0 mana, and you'd still be like, doesn't do much.
I mean, there are a few things, like when you said, I didn't notice that it said it hurts your minions as well. But there were a few things that popped to mind when you pointed that out, though, like Acolyte of Pain.
True.
And I don't know if there's going to be anything else added that might benefit from being hit. I mean, there's obviously Rage minions, but that's not something that Priest is going to be
Northshire Cleric.
worried about. Yeah, Northshire Cleric, being able to heal up. I mean, there might be some synergies out there. Obviously, we'll have to reserve judgment until we see more than 5 cards.
We don't know anything.
So the next card that they revealed is Shallow Gravedigger, which I love this card. I think it's great. It is a 3/1 Death Rattle minion. When it dies, it adds another Death Rattle minion to your hand.
This just shows you how big of a giant turd Backstreet Leper is.
Oh yeah, Backstreet
Death
Leper.
Rattle, deal 2 fucking damage that's never gonna matter. Or Death Rattle, an entire card goes into your hand.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of, especially when you make that comparison, it reminds me a lot of Stonehill Defender, and you compare that to, like, Silverback Patriarch. That's basically the difference that we're looking at there.
A Stonehill Defender 3 mana?
Yeah.
1/4 taunt, discover. Shit, that card's ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
Like, that card's so much better
me.
than Shallow Grave Digger.
But, what I'm always thinking of in terms of Death Rattle minions is 2 things. The Priest Quest, which this is fantastic for because
True.
it gives you a card back. I mean, right when we got that quest, we lost one of our best card advantage cards with Museum Curator, especially for Death Rattle minions, which sucked. So this kind of fills that slot. And also N'Zoth. And this is fantastic to get back off of N'Zoth because that's another card.
Yeah.
So, depending on what other legendary or whatever kind of Death Rattle minions they add in this set, this card could be bonkers, just depending on what you can get from it.
Yeah. This is solid. I mean, I see this being really good in Arena because you could potentially just use it to trade up.
Absolutely.
And then, as long as you're not playing a Mage, Rogue, or Druid, because their hero powers just kill things with 1 health.
Yeah, but still,
which is annoying.
It has a permanent effect. I mean, even if
it
dies
does
to a flame strike, that's what's great about it. But also, just a fun tidbit I just thought of. That is not discovering a Death Rattle minion. That is getting a random one. So that's opening up cards like Tyrion and White Eyes to other classes.
So with random, you can get stuff from other classes.
You can get anything.
But with Discover, you cannot.
Right. Correct.
Okay. I mean, Discover, honestly, I think, though, is probably better because you can sort of more tailor it to your situation. Like, you could do this and then get a Backstreet Leper, and you're like, wow, cool, great.
Oh, no. I mean, it's definitely higher ceiling, lower floor. I mean, you could get something insane. Yeah.
You could get a Tyrion off of this.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I really want that that Priest Quest deck to work, and I feel like they actually said during the reveal stream, that this set is heavily Death Rattle themed, which I love. Death Rattle, always been my favorite mechanic. Yeah,
it feels like the return of Nax a little bit, yes. And actually that is really how it felt in World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
like when we hit Ice Crown after like a year or whatever, like how long it had been since Nax was out. When we hit Ice Crown, it felt like this like second coming of like, whoa, we're fighting the undead again, like this second Naxxramas thing. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I got that same feeling. So next card they revealed is a Chillblade Champion, 4 mana, 3/2 charge. It is exclusive to Paladin. And when they attack, they refill health. They have the lifesteal mechanic.
Lifesteal. 3/2 charge, lifesteal.
So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that combo is that good. I mean, because obviously charge is kind of an aggro strategy,
right?
And I don't know how much you're gonna care about healing yourself. You can always put this. You can always trade off a minion with this and get 3 health out of it. So, it could be 4 mana, kill a small minion and get 3 health, which isn't bad.
Right, but I get exactly what you're saying with it, though, is I don't really see the archetype that this card works really well in. Because, I mean, obviously things come to mind like Blessing of Might, Blessing of Kings, buffing this thing's attack to get more health off of it, but why are you running it in a deck that you care about health? Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, you Blessing of Might this thing and it becomes a 6/2 charge, and then at that point it's like, I got a fucking 6/2 charge. Fuck my health total. Like, yeah, we're going for the win here. Like,
right. And if all you wanted was all you wanted was 6 power on charge, then you're running
Wolf Rider or something.
Wolf Rider, exactly. Or Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy. Yeah.
So it is really weird. I mean, you can look at it as a creature kill, but then it's really inefficient.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. This is probably just they had to give us some vanilla ass examples of of what they were revealing. But yeah, not a super interesting card. I'm not looking forward to the inevitable, 5/8 lifesteal taunt
Spike Ridge Steed, yeah.
That will inevitably be made and make my life miserable and make me run an owl or a spellbreaker in every deck I make.
Yeah, silence is just becoming more and more valuable as they release these new cards.
Yeah.
They're putting more and more text. I mean, we're getting Death Rattle, we're getting Lifesteal. These are all effects that you're just going to want to silence.
Honestly, like as an aggro player in Magic and in Hearthstone, I can definitely say that your opponent healing in Magic was so much more detrimental than it is in Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they go from 2 to 30 with Reno, then yeah, I'm pissed. Like that, you've ruined my chances of winning, like entirely. But like, it's like if you just flash heal yourself or whatever, and you've got nothing to back it up, and I still am, ramming your face with aggro minions, like you're still gonna die. So, lifesteal doesn't scare me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if they print, and I'm sure they will, some fat ass taunt minion with lifesteal, I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be sad.
I mean, lifesteal automatically makes more sense on a minion with more health, so that it can stick around and get you more for more value off of its text. I mean, there's several examples of this already. The best one is Ally Armorsmith. I mean, it doesn't return health. It actually is better than that because you can go above 30.
Sure, yeah.
Returning armor. So, it just, a 3/2 charge just really doesn't make sense for this.
Yeah, it's it's like, what the fuck was that? Fernomragon, that card, the 1/4.
You mean the 1/4 taunt? Yeah.
1/4 taunt charge, and it's like, that no one asked for this.
I think it's better than that, and who knows, somebody might find out.
That was pretty bad.
But yeah. Anyway, that is all the cards that they revealed from the stream. So they just gave us a little teaser, but it's nice, I mean, to be getting anything this far in advance. I feel like this is one of the earliest, kind of reveals we've had. We know it's coming next month, so we already got something to look forward to.
They did say it will. They didn't really go into any detail at all about this, but they did say that it would be kind of an adventure style where you work your way up through the bosses of Ice Crown, which is what we were hoping. So.
Right. Actually, I did get a couple more tidbits on how that system's actually going to work, as far as anybody who's wondering if there are rewards or what's going to happen with that. They were a little ambiguous in the stream about when they said if you actually complete all of the single-player content, which they've said is going to be very difficult, which I'm excited about. I loved the challenge of the adventures in heroic mode. That was awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, when there was a phase, there was a couple of months there where we were trying to do the heroics without looking up, the deck that wins, So, yeah, no, I'm excited for more of that. That was when I wanted to play Hearthstone, but I didn't want to deal with people's bullshit. So
it's a nice thing to be able to just play some single player content if you're tilting on ladder or something.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you complete all of the wings, finish the whole thing and beat, I'm pretty sure Arthas is going to be the final boss. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Then you get a random Death Knight card reward.
Oh, because they said, they said in the stream you're gonna get a Death Knight card or something vague, and I wasn't sure what they.
Right, and it didn't make sense to me because I wouldn't think that they would put a card that no one else could get any other way behind all this difficult content, because that's not what they were saying they were gonna do. But you're going to get. I'd be okay with it, but you're going to get one of the Death Knight cards. So, Deathstalker Rexar is the only example we have now, but either him or any of the other classes once they're revealed. The other way that it works is you're going to get a pack every time you complete a wing. Did he say there were going to be 6? 6 wings?
Don't know if he said that, but that is good to know.
The Broad? I don't know. I might have just made that up. Who knows? And then also, you get another pack when you beat Lich King. So you'll get the pack and the random reward.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's so much better. Nepeta is saying that it is 8 bosses.
8 bosses.
So, yeah.
We always have our viewers there that know more than we do.
Yeah, I don't know
help
why
us
we're
out.
the ones. I don't know why we're the ones that run the show. Honestly, we're stupid.
So that's 8 free packs and a free legendary. So there you have it, free stuff.
Yeah, no, I like that so much more than just log on day one and they're like, here's a quest, and you're like, well, I don't want to do the quest till I build my deck, and I don't want to build my deck till I open my packs, but I get more packs from the quest. So I don't know.
No,
I should-
I'm so excited about the single player content. I'm excited about this whole expansion.
Honestly,
it just
yeah.
sounds fun, and that's what I
Yes.
want is fun.
Yes, fun is fun as fuck.
Something to another difficult AI challenge is something the game really needed, I think, because
Yeah,
the more different ways there are to play the game, the more you want to play it, because there are going to be times, there are times for me where I am not interested in playing ranked or playing against other players at all. And now, like before, I used to get on and do adventures. Now I have nothing to do. I
Yeah,
just have to
you
play a
know
different game.
what they need to do is they need to appeal. I know that Hearthstone's a very casual game, but they need to appeal to the psychotic grinders. And
Yeah.
that's us. We're playing fucking EverQuest again.
No,
Okay.
you weren't supposed to talk about
All right.
that.
So like there and we played Monster Hunter. We loved that. There are
Yep.
people out there that will grind because they want that reward.
There are these sad, sorry
I'll fucking do it.
individuals.
Tell me I'll get something cool and I will grind.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be any sort of reward with any sort of power. It could be a card back. For example, the heroic mode adventures.
Yep.
We
got 'em all.
grinded like crazy on those.
We sure did.
And we got something in return, and it was worth it. It was fun. I look back on that fondly, and I think Hearthstone could stand to integrate that sort of appeal to people who, because like that's the thing with Hearthstone. Like I don't want to ladder all day, like every now and then, but it just gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Or arena all day, or like sometimes I just want people to go away and I still just want to play Hearthstone.
Yeah, no, I think that it's a very good idea for them to keep single player content in the game, even though they've decided to take out adventures, which is also probably a good idea in the long term, just to keep more cards coming into the game, keeping it more fresh. So, yeah, I mean, check back with us maybe after the expansion hits, and we'll be like, you know what? Forget this single player content. It's way too fucking hard. Because the way you and I are, of course, is we won't just be like, okay, how do you beat Lich King? We're going to be like sitting there just handcrafting 27 decks until we finally do it.
Oh my god, we haven't had all the deck slots since Heroic Adventures went away.
No, we haven't.
So now we'll be able to be like, I built 7 decks to attempt on this heroic boss.
And we have deck copying for trying out new configurations of the decks. Yes.
So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good times.
So
I loved it.
Super exciting. Super exciting.
Super exciting. Yeah.
I'm really glad that the rumors were true.
Ongoro was like, "Oh, cool. Maybe King Crush will be good again." That was like my only hope for Ongoro. And then this is like everything is going to be cool. Like it's just cool
Literally
stuff.
so cool. It's frozen.
Oh shit!
After that corny ass joke, there is some other news. That's about all we have on the new expansion thus far. But there's some stuff, some other stuff that's been going on in the game that we haven't had a chance to talk about, mainly because my monitor exploded and we missed last episode. But some of it's newer, like the Midsummer Fire Festival, which I am so glad they're finally on board with integrating Warcraft's in-game holidays into Hearthstone. That's something I've never really understood why they didn't do, other than just like Happy Feast of Wintervale. But like there was really nothing else going on.
Yeah, no, it is cool, and I mean, it's especially cool because we get we're getting double gold right now.
So anybody who hasn't had a chance to check out the Midsummer Fire Festival at this point, there is an exclusive Tavern Brawl, which we were actually playing a little bit of right before we started the show, which, you know, your goal is still to kill your opponent, but it's got this cool little mini game built in to see how many minions you can get, the little mini rag that hops back and forth, just like, you know, Thermoplug or whatever his name from the other co-op brawl would hop back and forth.
Oh, was it Mechazod?
Mechazod, that's his name. So he'll hop back and forth, try to kill minions and get bigger. It's a lot of fun. But even more exciting than that is we're getting double gold from quests during the Midsummer Fire Festival.
So don't be deceived when you see 80 gold. You still don't want to do those quests unless you have to.
Are a trick. For anybody who's not insane like us and has never even thought about min-maxing quest gold, what you basically want to do is anything that costs 40 or now 80 while this is going on. You want to drop that quest and do whatever you can do to not complete it, unless you have to complete a quest for that day. Because you never want to deny yourself getting a new quest for the next day, but you also never want to do a quest that's worth the minimum amount of gold.
Right. Your quest log has a maximum of 3 slots, and every day you get a new quest. So if you had just started playing Hearthstone and you had your one quest, then if you waited 2 days, you'd have 3 more. But you don't want to just sit there and wait. You want to be dropping a quest every day because you don't actually lose the quest. You lose that one. You don't lose a quest. It gets replaced by another quest. So there's a chance that it'll get replaced by a quest that gives more gold. Mm-hmm. And if you drop a 40 gold quest every day, you will rarely have to do a 40 gold quest.
I can't remember the last time I had to do one.
Yeah, I basically never, unless I'm like in a rush and I just like want to get them done. Right. But I always have the option to not complete a 40 gold quest. Mm-hmm. So you can give yourself another 10, 20 gold every day.
Mm-hmm. And that is doubled, of course, during this. So when you would normally only get 10 extra, you're getting 20 extra. And just for the extra incentive, the best quest that you can shoot for getting during this time when we're having the Midsummer Fire Festival is the 100 gold quest. You'll double that, of course, getting 200 gold. I really hope I get to do that while this is going.
Oh, yeah. What was the math we saw on that? It was a quest is, before they released 50 gold quests, a quest on average was worth 50 gold.
Yeah, I think so.
You wanted to drop a 40 whenever you could. Mm-hmm. And then when 50 gold quests came out, it was like, oh, well, that's what a quest is actually worth. So you still want to do those if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, your chances of dropping a 50 gold quest and getting more bang for your buck from that next quest that you get is too low to actually do it. Yeah, you might just give yourself a 40. So.
You'll probably get a 40, yeah.
Anyway, that's how you min-max that.
Yep.
Just ask us whenever you want to know how to min-max something.
Yeah, you're we've revealed that we are just horrible closet min-max grind nerds. Like, yeah.
We actually revealed that a little bit too much right before we started the show. As I said, we did a match between us with the Tavern Brawl, with the Ragnaros that shoots random individual shots like Knife Juggler. Mm-hmm. And we made decks to try to outlast and see how many minions we could get Rag to kill. We did. Dookie was playing Warrior, and I played Priest, and we managed our top number of minions killed by Rag was 78, correct?
I think so, yeah.
78, which that's not too shabby. I don't know if there's somebody out there with like a massively bigger record, but that's pretty tough to do because, I mean, you've got to take in that much damage every single turn when he's getting to that higher attack point. So
yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that was with us doing like 15 minutes of like deck building at most. So I'm sure we could hone them even further.
I'm sure. But what should we? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Anyway, other news. Some of this might be a little old at this point, but we'll mention it anyway. Wild sets coming back to the shop finally. They're not there yet, but anything that if you're a new Hearthstone player and you hadn't got a chance to check out some of the awesome adventures that we don't even have anymore, like Nax, Blackrock Mountain or any of the old sets. They're coming back for purchase. I'm not sure if it's confirmed one way or the other, whether or not they're going to be purchasable with gold, or if it's just going to be money. Because they're not
just money.
Is it just money? Well, they're not available yet, so I can't check. But it might just. I could definitely see it being just a pay thing.
Yeah. It's because you could craft individual cards before, but I guess Blizzard was like, how about instead of spending fake money, you can give us real money and we'll give you the cards. So.
Well, I guess there's that way to look at it, but, I mean, just imagine the dust cost. Dust, by the way, is the most valuable resource in Hearthstone. It's worth more than gold. It's worth more than anything. So, if you plotted out how much dust it would take to craft, like, say, the whole Nax set for somebody who wants to mess around with some of those cards in Wild or something, it is way more efficient for you to just go ahead and drop the money on that adventure, because you are going to be grinding for a long time.
That's very true. Because there's all those legendaries. There's a ton of legendaries, and they're not all good. But I guess you'd get them all if you just purchase the set.
Right, and any of them that aren't good, it even doubles down then, because then you can disenchant them.
How much did those adventures cost?
They were $20.
Were they 20?
20 or 25. I can't.
Yeah, I wonder what the value of dust is.
Well, adventures in general were very, very dust effective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they give you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that aspect of it. I mean the game got more expensive to play when they took adventures out, but we have more cards coming in per rotation, so it's keeping the meta fresher. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Made the game a little bit more expensive, but also probably healthier. So Wild Set's coming back. Keep your eye out for that. And also, very unexpectedly, at least for me, we got a Caverns Below nerf. Which I honestly thought we were past the point where they were going to try to do something like that with that card.
Yeah, it seems late, but then again, I guess we do have a good month and a half before the next expansion, so
remember back in the beginning of the show when we were talking about Dino Stitch or whatever the hell that card's called, Build-A-Beast, Dino Stitch.
Yeah, Dino Stitch.
That's what it is for me forever now. That card sort of makes me think that they're planning on the meta being slower. This is another change that signifies that for me. Because one of the biggest things holding control decks back this entire time, besides Jade decks, has been Caverns Below, which counters control harder than anything I've seen in this game yet. And something that Brode said when he was asked about why now they decided to nerf Caverns when it doesn't even seem oppressive on the meta at all, this is what he said. It's very powerful, and it's not very fun to play against, which I agree. It's changing the meta in a way that's very significant. It has a very high win rate against control decks and a low win rate against aggro decks, so it's hurting control. And Quest Rogue is getting played a lot more than its win rates signify. So even though the win rates might be a little lower than what you'd expect, a lot of people still play that deck.
Yeah.
And just because of the fact that you can and will run into Quest Rogue on ladder means that nobody can take control into the meta.
Right.
So this is absolutely, on its surface, I mean, he's saying it right there. This is to help control.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, because honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of the whole slam face session that this game has been for a while now.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but I'm actually, even though I'm an aggro player, I don't like the aggro meta that much, because I actually like being surrounded by all of these obnoxious control decks that I can surgically, just roll over with my own, brutal concoction.
Right.
And it's when you like to play aggro, it's not fun playing against aggro. You're like, damn, he's got the faster start. Now I have to play catch up. Now I have to trade minions. I have to do all this bullshit, and I just want to kill you. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
no,
totally understand.
I kind of prefer the more control mid range meta. So yeah, and Caverns Below, I don't like that deck at all. Like it's just I'm like, wow, you're doing so clever. Like
Right.
it was clever the first time, and then after that I was like, I get it. You're bouncing your shit back to your hand. Wow, it's amazing.
I did break down and play that deck some, and I gotta say that as horrible as it feels and just is to play against, because it's this whole game of solitaire that we're just kind of getting used to from Rogue, where it's just like, you're just going to do whatever you want and wick your turn, and it's barely going to interact with me. I hate that about how Rogue has been lately. But if you're on the other side of that, you're the one having all the fun, because you're the one who's taking these long turns and having to solve this puzzle. Now, that's if you like that sort of gameplay, where it's very precise, and it's an incredibly easy deck to screw up. I probably screwed it up more times than I got it right when I was playing it. But that's really fun to me, is like that problem solving. But the problem with that deck is that there's no interaction with the opponent, which just makes it feel bad.
Yeah, you just sit there and do your thing.
Exactly.
And then you get your thing done, and then you're like, well, I guess I win.
Right. It's like Freeze Mage in a way, where they don't care what you're doing. Unless it somehow breaks their combo, they just don't care. That, like, if you just dropped a huge minion, it's like, whatever, I'm going to freeze it. It's got that kind of thing going with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that does it for the news, really. Just playing a little catch-up from some older topics there.
Yeah, we got the good stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
The important stuff.
Obviously, what's really going on is the new expansion. But there's not too much new to talk about with that. So we're going to go ahead and do our card challenge segment, which is where we pose a challenge every week that we actually have to show when our monitors don't blow up. To have anybody who wants to go ahead and submit a card to make a card based on certain rules. And last time you posed the card challenge, and what was it?
It was design a card for the 4th of July.
Yes.
So that was 2 days ago. So hopefully we're still feeling the Merkin spirit. I mean, I am every day of my life.
Oh,
so,
of course.
And
somebody still is, because I keep hearing pops outside. So somebody's not done shooting off the fireworks they bought.
Those are gunshots.
Oh, you're right. Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot where I live in Tampa.
Trampa.
Yes. So anyway,
we should take a look at those.
Let's take a look at the cards we got for this week for our Merca theme.
Prepare yourself for the ultimate test.
All right, so first, of course, we have Zent the First with his card, Uncle Sam. 10 mana, 6/6, neutral legendary. Battle Cry. Summon a random minion from your hand or deck and give it +1/+1. Your other minions get +2/+2. So this one was a little difficult for me to figure out at first, but this is how I think it works. So as he comes out, you immediately get a random minion from your deck into play, and it gets a permanent +1/+1. So let's say you play him, you get a Bloodfen Raptor, comes out as a 4/3. Then he has a Stormwind Champion effect that's temporary while he's on board, that all your minions get +2/+2. So then your Bloodfen Raptor that's a 4/3 becomes a 6/5. That's my...
I think because it's a battle cry.
Right.
So I think he gives all the other minions +2/+2 once. I think he just gives it to them.
Like Mistcaller?
Right. Well, I think it just means your minions that are on the board. Minions on the board. Because it's battle cry. So it just happens.
Right.
So then the thing that gets pulled out gets the +1/+1. Everything else gets +2/+2. It's weird. It's a weird card.
I think it works better as a Stormwind Champion effect, because he's like a leader, he's out there buffing everything. Yeah. And but he also chooses one minion specifically. He's like, I want you. Yeah, exactly. I want you. That's how it makes sense to me. I mean, maybe if there was just a space there, maybe he meant to put an enter, that's a separate text. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how I choose to think of it.
Well,
it is cool.
And you can choose to think that way if you want, because this is America.
Right? Exactly.
So fuck it.
We just need some fireworks.
Everything's whatever you want.
Yeah, I really like it whenever cards really stick to a theme, and Uncle Sam's all about I need you.
Yeah, no, we got some good theme cards coming in this time.
Yeah, so that is Uncle Sam from Zent the First, because I believe we have another one somewhere in here.
There is.
Thanks for your submission, Zent. Next up, we have Jesse Nash with Uncle Sam. Hey, what do you know? I
next.
put it next. So
this one, I really liked this one.
Yeah, you want to go ahead with this one?
Yeah. This was another 10 mana Uncle Sam, but this one is a 7/4, so he's got more attack, which I like. And he has Battle Cry. Add the heads of Mount Rushmore to your hand.
I love that.
So it's so funny. So the heads of Mount Rushmore. You got George Washington. He's a 1-mana 1/1, but he does not take damage.
Can't do it. He's not immune. He just doesn't take damage.
He just doesn't take damage. Then you got Thomas Jefferson. He's a 7-mana 5/5. Battle Cry. Adapt 4 times. So I don't know. I guess he goes out there and he just makes a big old Louisiana Purchase and has sex with some of his slaves.
Move over Galvadon.
Then you got Theodore Roosevelt, a 7-mana 7/8 charge Wind Fury, cannot attack heroes the turn he comes out.
That is insane, by the way.
I mean, that's gonna just kill some shit.
Yeah,
that's just gonna kill shit. And then you got Abraham Lincoln, 6 mana, 6/4, silence your opponent's minions. So he just emancipates you from your enemy.
I like how you're using all these references to flesh these characters out.
And Theodore Roosevelt having charge and Wind Fury is just because he's a fucking badass.
Right? I knew you would love that, by the way.
Yeah,
it's like Teddy Roosevelt's the one who beats your ass.
Oh, he is the best president ever, so.
Right. I mean, obviously this is fucking awesome. I love this. Like, George Washington is just the funniest one to me.
Yeah, it really is.
He just looks like his face is just like, you can't kill me.
It's like, nope.
Didn't work.
Nope. not taking damage.
So, yeah, 10 mana, and you can't play any 2 of these side by side unless you're playing one of them along with George Washington. So,
yeah.
But, hilarious. I mean, just getting Teddy Roosevelt's worth it.
I mean, you could dino-size George Washington.
You sure could.
A dinosaur-sized George Washington would be. That's what our country needs.
That's right. Right. Our country clearly needs Uncle Sam, because we've already had first 2 submissions, both Uncle Sam. Thanks. Thanks for our second Uncle Sam, Jesse Nash. Hope you went out and shot off some fireworks. All right. Next up from Heilung, we have, speaking of fireworks, Runaway Fireworks.
This one's cool.
Yeah, I like this one. It's a 1-mana 0/1 mech with Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage randomly split among all other minions, which is like the Mad Bomber mechanic. Mm-hmm. So I think this is super cool. Like, at first I thought it was overpowered, but then what's difficult about it is triggering its Death Rattle since it doesn't have attack.
Yeah,
like, unless you're playing this in Mage, but then you're paying extra mana to kill it. So I think it actually ends up being balanced since it doesn't really affect the board state while it's sitting there.
This shit's all over pirates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, goodbye deckhand and patches.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's... I don't know if it would... I don't know how, like... I don't think it would be OP or anything. I think it would be situational, but still, like, usable.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely I mean, it doesn't go in every deck, of course. But also a pretty good arena card. But probably only for decks that would have a great way to kill it.
Or a buff. You could always buff.
Yeah, like in Paladin or Mage or
Priest
like Priest could buff it, Mage could ping it. Yeah, it interacts in a cool way with different classes, and I like that. Well, I like it when cards are designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks for that, Heilung. Up next, we have from I'm a Dragon, Twin Goblin Fireworkers. 3 mana, 3/3.
Yeah.
After you
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this one is awesome. This is like kind of a sneaky way to add spell power to a minion, which Mage does sometimes, and I think is really cool. After you cast a spell, this minion casts arcane missiles. So this is actually better than Flamewaker.
It is. Flamewaker was a 4 mana 2/4,
And it only shot 2 missiles.
got 2 missiles. Yeah, this is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, this is, you know what? Not until I compared it to Flamewaker in my head just now did I realize how fucked up this is.
Flamewaker is a insanely good card.
Yeah. So on 1 less mana for not really any penalty on stats, I mean, it's better to have more survivability, but you're also getting an extra ping per spell.
Yeah, you can pull this off, and you can pull this off cheaper and sooner, you know?
Yeah.
You could do this on turn 4 with an arcane missiles and cast 2 arcane missiles and get a 3/3.
Right.
So,
because what having a card like this in Mage is all about is waiting for that turn where you can really pop off and like use the coin and use probably your own copies of arcane missiles, and then you're just getting more arcane missiles everywhere. It's really cool, but it would wreck if it was a real thing.
Oh yeah, this is pretty broken. But I like it a lot. I like the the art that they picked. I like the concept.
Yeah,
it's all pretty cool.
Super cool. All right, up next from Lenison, we have European at the 4th of July party, which, like, obviously, okay, I'll just read the card first. 8 mana, 1/5 confused minion. And the text says, "Hi guys, did I bring too much mana? I've got some fireworks. Why are we doing any of this?"
It's like a stock image of a woman just shrugging.
Yeah. I just love the concept here.
I mean, just thought it was funny. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's, obviously a terrible card, but it's.
But that's not what it's about. It's about making fun of Europe on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
that's what this is about.
Definitely make fun of them. Unless I honestly could see this being submitted by a non-American though.
Yeah, I could too.
Which I don't know. Lenison might be from the UK or something.
He might be. I don't know, but he knows what's up.
The EU.
He knows what's up over here in America.
Yeah, he knows. He knows the score.
All right, thanks, man. Up next, Dougie Fresh with George Washington.
Dougie Fresh. I was looking at the comments. He didn't think he got in, but he got in.
You got in, man, because I fucking love this card. This is great. 10 mana, 7/7. Your minions have charge. Like, there are so many things I like about this. First of all, the artwork. Like, that's just, where did you get that? George Washington.
Oh, dude, have you not seen those? There's like this whole series of like badass presidents.
That's awesome.
And I actually used one for my card, so you guys will see that or hear about.
I mean, that is awesome. The art's awesome, and like 7 damage on 10 mana. I mean, even though it's on a minion, that's not bad at all. And then if he actually manages to somehow live and come back to your turn, like, good night. Like, that is, you are done after that point.
All right, here's N'Zoth, and then everything that comes out has charge.
Yeah, no.
So
I don't even think it's overpowered, honestly.
It might not be. I mean, Hearthstone on turn 10, anything could happen to a 7 mana or 7 health minion. Like, you might even have to trade with this guy, and then he'll be lower health. So
yeah.
No, I don't think this is any sort of guaranteed victory.
This is the card that brings BGH back into the meta.
Unless you have a handful of wisps and you're just like, all right, here's George Washington and 7 wisps or 6 wisps.
How did you get 7 wisps? I don't know.
Wispcraft.
New card, Wispcraft. Add 6 wisps to your hand. All right, thanks for that, man. And then up next we have yours, Dookie, which
shit. Let me just wait for.
You actually made several parts to your card.
Yeah, and this is gonna tie into a new rule. So I decided to make a card for Theodore Roosevelt, who's my favorite president because he's a badass, and he does a lot of things, and he's probably overpowered, but he comes out as a 7 mana 6/6. With Battle Cry, equip a big stick. and a big stick is a weapon that is a 4/3. Then he has Death Rattle, and his Death Rattle is add Teddy the Bull Moose to your hand. So this was after he was president and he formed the Bull Moose Party.
Yes, we need to weave history into this for sure.
So Teddy the Bull Moose is an 8-mana 7/7. So you could play it the next turn if Theodore Roosevelt died. And Teddy the Bull Moose has Battle Cry, Destroy a Beast, because the man loved to hunt, and Death Rattle, add a Bull Moose to your hand. And the Bull Moose is a 9-mana 10/10 taunt that can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. So
the Bull Moose, the Bull Moose is where you lose me. I don't get it. I don't get why he would kill an animal and then give you an animal.
Well, okay, he was a hunter, but he was also like an animal like rights like guy.
What?
He was
animal rights guy.
That's a thing. If you're not way up your own ass, you can actually like reconcile those two things. But yeah, so he formed after he was president. He ran again under the Bull Moose Party because he was just too badass to be like in one of the two regular shitty parties, and the
Bull or the Moose parties, respectively.
Yeah, so he formed the Bull Moose Party, and then so he had mad. I mean, they named teddy bears after him, so that's a thing. And then I just decided to make the Bull Moose a card. So he's probably really broken because he just keeps doing stuff.
Yeah, I think just like the fact that you immediately get a weapon and then a minion you can play on curve is like, what?
You get two. If they somehow manage to kill Theodore Roosevelt and Teddy the Bull Moose, you still get a Bull Moose on turn 9.
Yeah, the fact that they all curve into each other. It's like, here's my 6/6 that death rattles into a 7/7 plus a weapon. And here's my 7/7 that death rattles into a 10/10 can't be targeted by spells or hero powers at the time.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Seems balanced.
So this is gonna tie. We only picked 6 cards for our card submission challenge, and there were 2 people that submitted cards that made like 7 other cards spawn somehow. And, our rule is, submit as much as you want, but we're only going to pick one. So, if you submit 1 card, but it spawns 7 cards, and then we pick your card, we kind of picked 8 cards for you. So the rule is your card can only spawn 3 things. So Theodore Roosevelt has a big stick, Teddy the Bull Moose, and Bull Moose. Those are within his package. That's what he summons.
Yeah.
So
conveniently, we have an example here. It doesn't work. Any more cards than this doesn't really work with our interface. It doesn't really work with the how long it would take to go through each one, and they get really complicated. And half the time we're sitting there like, wait, this one goes here, and it just gets to be a little bit too much. So yeah, 1 card can spawn up to 3 cards.
Yeah. We appreciate the creativity, and I know it's fun, but try to pack as much of that creativity into just a few, I feel like 3 is actually pretty generous.
So we're probably gonna have to make like a pinned tweet or something with all we're just coming up with like new rules for our card challenge. We'll pin a tweet, and
good idea, pin tweet.
After the show, we always retweet what our next challenge is and everything, especially since most of the time we forget to tell you what it is. But we're gonna try not to do that this time.
I hope you're ready.
I'm still thinking about it, man. Just like stalling and trying to think of the next challenge.
You've got your card creation to think about it. So
here we go. Last up, I always save mine here for last. Mine is very simple, just like America. We're straight and to the point. We get right to it. The flag. So we're all about the flag. 5 mana spell, legendary neutral spell. Whenever you play a minion, it deals damage equal to its attack randomly among all other minions, as you do. Replace your hero power as well, because that's pretty broken if I'm honest.
So this is like a thing that stays active throughout the whole game.
Right. And the way that
as
you
long
know
as
that,
the flag is still there.
the way that you know that is because your new hero power, which has no mana cost because it doesn't do anything other than remind you that it's proof
The
that
flag
the
is
flag
still
is
there.
still there.
That's awesome.
So once you play the flag, it becomes your hero power and is active for the rest of the game. Every minion you play will come out like a mad bomber, throw bombs at everything. America.
America. All other. I feel like it should be all other characters.
Oh, you feel like it should be characters too?
Oh yeah, you should be able to bomb yourself. You should be able to bomb your opponent. Bomb everything.
That's true.
Bombs away.
You're right. I made a terrible mistake.
No, I think it's hilarious. I like that it replaces your hero power. Like that is your hero power, basically.
Yep.
At
Your
that
hero
point.
power is that when you play a minion, it goes berserk and nukes everything.
Yeah.
Just so you know that the flag is still there. All right, and that does it for this card submission challenge, which, of course, always does it for our show. Thanks.
So,
Thanks,
what's
everybody.
our next card submission?
Oh, God. What is our next card submission challenge? Okay, so I wanted to do something in honor of revealing the expansion, but last time I did a Ice Crown themed card submission challenge, nobody liked it.
Well, I think just a lot of, there's at this point probably a lot of people that play Hearthstone aren't coming from WoW, so they didn't really know lore
True.
enough to make a card.
All right, I've got it. So, we've seen Deathstalker Rexar. So, I mean, you could do a different hero, hunter hero if you want to, if you don't really like Deathstalker Rexar. But my challenge for next week is to make a Death Knight card for your favorite hero, which, just to reiterate, it's a spell. It could have like a armor total on it if it gains you health, and it can have an effect when you play it. But the ultimate thing is that it's going to replace your hero and replace your hero power with something new. So everybody should be submitting two things: the Death Knight card for your favorite class and their new hero power. That's
so I'm on Hearth cards, which is the way we like to design these. And you can make spells on Hearth cards. You can make epic spells.
Mm-hmm.
You can make them class specific.
And you can make hero powers.
Or sorry, I meant legendary. And you can make hero powers. The only thing I guess you wouldn't be able to do is put an armor total in the bottom right corner.
True.
So you just probably have to put text on the card saying gain 5 armor.
Right.
Anything, gain life, whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if within a day or two, though, Hearth Cards is actually updated to accommodate this armor total on a spell. Just to be able to create, because everybody's going to want to be doing this kind of thing, like creating their own ideas for these new cards. So keep your eye out for that, but otherwise, yeah, just use the health total.
Yep.
All right.
That works.
So that is the next challenge. We hope everybody... Please submit us all your cards. We keep everything that is submitted, whether we use it in the show or not. And one of these days, we're going to do a big roundup show where we go through some of the stuff that we never got to in our normal show, because we love everybody that submits to us and all of our viewers. We want you all to know that we read every card we get.
Oh, yeah.
But thanks for everybody who came out, watched the reveal stream with us live and hung out, saw some ridiculous games of Hearthstone. Is anybody who we chose as our victors for this week's card challenge in the chat here with us?
Did we pick a winner?
Well, I wanted to see if anybody was here first in the live stream.
I know Dougie Fresh is here.
Right.
Yep. He said yep really loudly in the comments.
I think I heard him.
But we should wrap up the show.
We should.
And then we'll get into this. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're on iTunes or YouTube or anywhere where you can give us a rating or review, give us that thumbs up or those 5 stars or whatever rating parameter is available to you.
Or just a comment, shoot us a tweet. We have our Twitter handles up there at DookieShed, at Clash_HS, and at Salty Dog Podcast. We love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching the show, and until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.